What's up, guys? It is April 26th, 2018, and welcome to the kingdom. I'm your host, Justin from ForTheLoveOfPicks.com, here giving you 100% free picks 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We predict your favorite sports for you so you can make more money. Of course, guys, we are here live every day, Monday through Friday, at 4 p.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Running a little bit late. I apologize for that. A lot of things in flux right now. Of course, as I told you yesterday, had some complications with the website, and I did get to working on those yesterday, but I was not able to get everything figured out. So the baseball page is still down, and I apologize for that on the website. Um, that will be remedied today. I figured out the solution, so I'll have that fixed. Of course, the NBA and the NHL part of the website are still there, so you can always go check that out. And starting back tomorrow, I can't get situated right. All right, there we go. Starting tomorrow, everything will be back functional. Of course, if you subscribe to the website, you will be notified of all of our live broadcasts. That includes the Kingdom and Against the Odds, which will be coming soon. And you'll get all of the videos, the parlays, the daily parlays, and the upset alerts, which we have not done the past couple of days while we've had the problems with the website. But I will be getting back to doing those starting today. You'll be able to, after this show, you'll be able to go to the website and those videos will be on the website. Of course, if you don't get the show when we're live, you can always go and watch the replay. The replay is up on the website under the Kingdom or also under my personal bio page. Either one has a replay of the episode that day immediately after it is done. You can go check it there. So if you're not able to catch the live broadcast, you can always go watch the replay. To get the live broadcast, as I was saying, of course, guys, make sure that you subscribe to the website, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like our Facebook page. We are, of course, simulcasting from Facebook and YouTube. We've got Facebook down here and YouTube up top. So, guys, I am constantly moving back and forth between the two cameras, so I apologize if I'm not focused on you the whole time. Still working on getting a second camera and having a better way of doing this than the way I am. Of course, we do the Facebook through my phone. We do YouTube through my laptop and my webcam. All right, so with that said, guys, yesterday was an interesting day. We had Walk-Off Wednesday, of course, yesterday. And we had a lot of interesting games on yesterday's card. I personally went 4-2 yesterday, combined between baseball, hockey, and NBA. 4-2 on the show. And let's see, Ryan, if I remember correctly, went. Let's see. Ryan went 1-3 yesterday. So Ryan's picks have been a little rough lately. We have all the confidence in the world, though. I expect those to pick up steam. But that means that total yesterday we split. We went 5-5. So not the kind of walk-off Wednesday that we normally want to have. Not the kind of day we normally want to have in general. But still a good day altogether. If you took my side, I went 4-2 yesterday, and then I did even better with my picks on the website. And so we're going to hope to keep that going forward into Of course, Thursday's moving day in baseball. Everybody plays on the weekend, so there's a lot of teams that don't play on Thursdays as they move to their new park, or wherever it is their next game is being played at. And so we only had 10 games in baseball today, and 5 were played early. And of course, we come on live at 4 p.m. Eastern. We're not able to give you those games. Of course, normally you'd be able to go 6, which you'll be able for you. Again, apologize for that. But that gives us only 5 night baseball games. And then, of course, we have 2 hockey games and only 1 NBA game. So only 8 games on today's card to choose from. With that said, we gave Ryan the day off. There's only 1 NBA game, and since I always pick 1 NBA game, I'm going to do the NBA pick for today. And of course, we'll have Ryan back tomorrow as we have more NBA games tomorrow. And so we're going to hope to keep our streak of winning going into today, and going to give you as much value as I can. Like I said, very small card to work with. But I was able to look through those 8 games, and I think I found some good value in these picks. So we're going to give out 6 picks today's show. We'll give you a combination of NBA, Major League Baseball, and NHL. And before we get into that, I did, however, I got some clarification yesterday. Yesterday's show, I went on a long rant about hitting the like button. And I talked about how I was going to get to the bottom and find out why people weren't hitting the like button. And I don't know if this is everybody, but I did talk to somebody, and going to give out a shout out. Shout out to Andy, who we are friends with on Facebook. Shout out to Andy and I talked to my good buddy Andy, and I asked him, what was going on with people, in the video not hitting the like button, people on the live show. And he told me, he said a lot of the times when he's watching the show, he's also watching TV, or he's watching something else, or he's doing something else. And he's not necessarily always paying attention to whether or not we're specifically talking to him. Which was funny because I told him, I said, I've actually specifically tried to talk to him a couple times on the show, and now it makes sense why I never got any answers, because he didn't really, I guess, expect me to do that. And this kind of played into what I thought. I kind of had the idea that a lot of people weren't doing it because even though they're in the live show, they might not necessarily have the volume on, or they might be doing 3 or 4 other things, raising their kids, watching TV, working, whatever it may be. So when I say to them, hey, specifically you, I'm talking to you. That's right. I'm talking to you. He didn't even know I was doing it. And I'm going to assume that probably happens with a lot of people. So when I've been on the show and I'm like, all right, guys, if you could just take the time to hit the like button, takes just a second to float one of those little likes across the screen. They're probably looking at me like, what is he doing? And so trying to figure out our viewership going forward, that will always be a part. And so shout out to those who do come to the live show. But guys, if you could take the time to, a couple things, if you take the time to hit the like button, that like button helps us. Of course, the show will be always 100% free, but if you could hit the like button, we really appreciate it. And kind of lost my train of thought. Shout out to Chanda, who is in the live broadcast, or was in the live broadcast. Another thing that I'm figuring out is when people come into the live show, it doesn't necessarily tell me that if you've left the show always. So I might think that you're still in when you're really not. But to those who are watching the show, if you could just take a second to hit that like button for us, and take a little bit of an effort to pay attention, because we're going to I want to include my viewers into the broadcast. So there'll be times where maybe I specifically talk to you, and if you're not paying attention, you'll have no idea that I was trying to include you in our broadcast. I don't know if you know I don't know what everybody's attention span is. So um, I'm going to try to include people. When I see you in the live broadcast, I'm going to specifically talk to you. So if you're not paying me any attention, it's just going to look like you're ignoring me. So, I mean, that's fine. We appreciate you guys coming and watching the show, and we appreciate you hitting the like button if you have a chance to do so. Um, and just thought I'd throw that out there because I went on that rant yesterday and I said I was going to get to the bottom of it, and we've gotten to the bottom of it. Got to remember we are still broadcasting through social media, and social media, the attention span is very small, and so we're happy that you're here. And so, with that said, let's get into some free picks for today. Of course, we're going to put you on money making picks where you can maybe go out and buy your significant other a nice gift, or maybe you can take yourself out for a nice dinner, or maybe you've got a video game that you want to buy, whatever it is, whatever you need extra money in. If you're not an everyday gambler and you're just looking for the chance to make a little bit of extra money, you've come to the right place. All right, you come to the live show. We're going to give you the best available picks minus my platinum packages. Go to my website, fortheloveofpicks.com, and you go to the shop link, and you'll find my platinum packages. And I'm going to explain again what those are. The platinum packages are my best 2 picks from me, 2 picks from Ryan. You have 3 choices. You have daily, weekly, and monthly. Just to give you an example, because I think it should explain all of it, if you pick the monthly option, you're going to get my 2 best picks every day for 30 days. And so, obviously, the weekly and the daily speaks for itself. But I assure you that over a span of 30 days, and I can assure you over a span of a week, that if you take my picks, we're going to make money. I guarantee it, to the point where I will give you your money back or a free week if you pay for my platinum packages and you don't end the week on the positive side. With the exception of if it's, of course, money management is on you. If you're taking my picks and you're not putting them down right, that's on you. But if I give you winners, you know what I'm saying? Just for an example, if you get a week package, I'm going to give you 14 picks in the span of 1 week. I guarantee you through those 14 picks, we'll at least go 8-6. Guaranteed. And if we go 7-7, or we go 6-8, or if we do go 6-8 or 7-7, and we're not on enough dogs to where we're in the plus area, and we come out in the negative, then I guarantee you your money back or a free week. So go check those platinum packages out, guys. That's where the money can really be made. But if not, make sure you're watching these live broadcasts. Even though all the picks are free on the website, my live show, The Kingdom, is where I'm going to give you my best picks every day. And with that said, let's get into those picks for today's show. So, as I said earlier, we have a very small card today, only 5 baseball games to choose from in the nightcap, 2 hockey games, 1 basketball game. Very small day of sports to choose from. But I was able to find 6 picks that I think are very valued in between those 8 games. So let's get right into it. In the baseball, actually, I'll do baseball last. Let's do the NBA first. The only game in the NBA tonight is the Celtics and Bucks. This is game 6 of this first round series in the NBA playoffs. And we have the Celtics and Bucks at a -4.5 for the Bucks. So the Bucks are favored at -4.5. The over is at 200.5. This over started at roughly about 201, 201.5, and it's been bet down to 200.5. That means the betting public is on the under for this game. The line hasn't seemed to move very much. It's still sitting at 4.5. So deciding between those two, every game in this series has been won at home. So I do kind of think that this is the game where the Celtics might be able to grab one on the road. If they're gonna win this series, it's I think the Celtics are gonna win this series. The question is, are you gonna win this series in seven? And the reason I say that is because I just don't think Milwaukee can beat Boston in Boston. And the only way for Milwaukee to get out of this series is to beat Boston in Boston at least once. And I just don't see that happening. So the question is can they win tonight and get it back to Boston, or are they going to be too worried about their struggles on the road to be able to win tonight? To me, these game sixes, when you're down 3-2 and you know you have to go back to the other team's home, it's all about whether or not you can focus on tonight's game rather than the next game. And so, honestly, I think there's value in the Celtics at +4.5. I think the Bucks are going to win this game, but I think that it'll be a close game, like a 2-point victory, 3-point victory at the end. But I don't like 4.5 is just too close. A free throw game, and you're going to hit that 4.5 easy. So I'm looking at that over of 200.5. I just think it's ridiculously low. These games have been played in the under 200 ranges, but I think in Milwaukee we're going to get. I think we're going to pass that 200. I think it's going to maybe a score like 104, 98, something like that. So we're going to take the 200 over 200.5, and that'll be our first pick and our only pick from the NBA today. And let's see, we got 2 hockey games. So I can give you 3 baseball, or I can give you 4 baseball and 1 hockey. I'm going to give you 3 baseball, and I'm going to pick both games in the hockey. All right, so we've got the Penguins taking on the Capitals. This is a round 2 matchup. Round 1 is over. We've got all of our round 1 teams taken care of after the Maple Leafs lost to the Bruins. Interesting enough, I picked their Maple Leafs in my NHL preview that we did before the playoffs started. But when it came down to Game 7 yesterday, I told you to take the Bruins. And I took the Bruins yesterday. I put a lot of money on the Bruins, and I paired them with the Yankees. This is not a pick that I gave out live, as yesterday I didn't give out any of my parlay picks, but this would have been my parlay pick yesterday, and I apologize for not giving it out. But I was big on the Yankees. I was big on the Bruins. I parlayed them together, and I won pretty big yesterday. We now move to the round 2, and looking to keep our streak going in hockey. I'm going to take the Penguins at +111. I have the Capitals winning the series, of course, in my preview, and I have the Capitals going all the way to the NHL Finals. But the way they played the Columbus Blue Jackets in the first round has me a little, I wouldn't say worried, but I'm a little timid about that pick now. And I'm at this moment, I'm leaning towards the Penguins possibly winning this series. And with that said, I'm leaning towards the Penguins replacing the Capitals in the finals against the Predators, which would, of course, give us a rematch of last year's finals, and it would put the Penguins in the finals for the 3rd year in a row. I'm leaning that direction. I think this is going to go 7 games, and I think even though the Capitals have home ice advantage, I think the Penguins are going to steal that away tonight. So we're going to take the Penguins +11. That will be our second pick on today's show. And then, of course, we have the Las Vegas Golden Knights taking on the San Jose Sharks. I picked the Sharks to lose to the Ducks in the first round, and I also picked the Knights to lose in the first round, and neither one of these happened. So this was originally supposed to be, in my predictions, it would have been the Anaheim Ducks, and they would have been playing against the Golden Knights won in 4 straight games. I'm having a hard time even remember. I can't even remember who they played in that series. It was the Kings. Yeah. I thought it was going to be the Kings and the Ducks, and here we've got the Sharks and the Knights. So completely different game than I had predicted. But with that said, the Golden Knights have now proved to me that they are where they're supposed to be. They're going to win this series, and they're going to play the Predators, in my opinion, in the Western Conference Finals. So with that said, we're going to take the Vegas Golden Knights minus 144 to win game one. I think they're getting some decent value. I thought it would be higher than 144. So we're going to take that, and that'll be our third pick for today's show. So that takes us into baseball, and I apologize to my Facebook crowd. I got to reach over you for a second so I can get to all of my baseball information. All right. So, I'm going to give you 3 games today in baseball. I might actually do 4 since I do normally give out the 4 baseball picks. Nothing wrong with giving 7 picks instead of 6 picks. I think so. I might give out all of them. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how I'm feeling. But let me pull up this one. So in our first game, we've got the Indians and the Mariners. And, you know, unfortunately, we've been on the Indians at the wrong times. We've taken the Indians when they've lost a lot, and we've not taken them when they've won. And so trying to find this happy medium with the Indians. We know they're going to win games. They're going to win that division. But we're trying to predict their wins, and we seem to not be able to do that. Today, we have them taking on the Mariners. We've got James Paxton, 1-1 with a 5.61 ERA, going up against Mike Clevinger, 2-0, 1.75 ERA. And everybody knows that I'm been big on Clevinger. I like Clevinger. He's 2-0, 1.75 ERA. He's been good on the year. I know a lot of handicappers who are not big on Mike Clevinger, and they see Clevinger and they immediately dart to the other side. And I'm the opposite. I like Clevinger in that lineup. I think the Indians are definitely very inconsistent right now, but they've been consistent in my opinion, for Clevinger. So Paxton's been, hit or miss, and I think he's a great prospect. But we're going to take the Indians. And depending on, I've seen different places. I've seen 112, I've seen 115, I've seen 110. Right now, I'm seeing 110. So we're going to take the Indians at minus 110, and we'll call that our 4th pick on today's show. With that said, let's go to the Orioles and the Tigers. This is one of those games where it almost just looks too good to be true. Maybe I gotta start doing that so I can keep my face in the video, so you're not just seeing my chin. So this looks like a too good to be true kind of scenario. You got Chris Archer 1-1 with a 6.5 ERA going up against Dylan Bundy, 1-2 with a 1.42 ERA. We're gonna look at the over/under here. It's only 7.5. Bundy has a good ERA where Archer does not. I don't like Archer on the road. I don't like the Rays on the road. And I could see maybe the problem with hitting that 7.5 would be the Rays. If the Rays don't score enough runs, the Orioles would have to make up the difference. But I personally think that what we have here is I think that the least you're going to see the Rays get a couple runs. And then I think you're going to see Baltimore score, I don't know. This actually could go either way. The Rays could wait. I think this is going to be a game that's like 6-4, 5-3, 5-4. So we should cover that 7.5. I really like it. I don't know if it opened at 7.5, but that's what we're getting here. So we're going to take the Orioles Rays over of 7.5, and we'll call that our 5th pick for today's show. And so the question is this going to be the last one? We'll figure that out. Let's see if we can get you another baseball pick. Oh, and we lost our Facebook show. I had this problem yesterday. Rotate. So I apologize for y'all going flying. There we go. All right, so I'm not gonna test fate again. We're just gonna finish the show without looking at my information. Only got a couple more picks to go. We got the Royals, and the Chicago White Sox, and then of course the Brewers and the Cubs game. I'm gonna give you two more. I'm gonna give you two more. So we're gonna do 7 total picks. You know what? I'm gonna give you 3 picks. We're gonna do 8 total picks for today's show, just because I'm feeling lucky. All right, so we're gonna take the Royals minus 160 at home against the White Sox. We've got Junis pitching. I think that you can't go wrong with Junis on the mound. He's 3-1. He's been great. The White Sox have been horrible. I mean, that's why the Royals, who are not a great team, we're getting them at minus 160, and it's climbing. So we're going to take the Royals minus 160, and we're going to take in the Chicago Cubs and Milwaukee Brewers game, we're going to take the Brewers plus 139, and we're going to take the over of 8.5. Not sure who is pitching in this game. Let's see. That's a game that I definitely want to know as much as I can. All right, so Kyle Hendricks is on the mound for the Cubs. Chris Anderson's on the mound for the Brewers. Anderson's 2-1 with a 3.25 ERA. Hendricks is 1-1 with a 4.09 ERA. I was going to give this as an upset pick. This is why I had this written down. But in the case that maybe we don't do any of those videos today, I said I was going to do them, but just in case, since it's coming up against the time, take the Brewers and the plus 139. I like them even though they're on the road. But even better, the over of 8.5. The over and 8.5, I think, is your good play here. Even though these guys only have a collective ERA of a little over 7, I'm predicting kind of I say maybe 6-3 is the final score, 7-3, 6-4, something like that. So we're gonna take the over of 8.5 and the Brewers at plus 139, and that'll be our 7th and 8th pick on today's show. Gave out some extra picks on today's show. Of course, guys, today, day 29 of 30 for my personal Facebook account. So that means only one more day. So after tomorrow, if you have not signed up for the group, if you have not liked our Facebook page, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel or to the website, you will no longer know about these videos. When I go live, it will be oblivious to you. And so if you have not gotten signed up, make sure you are going to one of those areas and getting signed up. The website is fortheloveofpicks.com, and that's also the name of the YouTube and the Facebook page. We're here, like I said, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Monday to Friday, we're here at 4 p.m. Eastern. Saturday and Sunday, we're here at 12 p.m. Eastern. And we're giving you 100% free picks 7 days a week, 365 days a year, like I said. And I said I was going to do this. So shout out to Andy again. I gave you a shout out earlier in the show, but you weren't here yet. So shout out to Andy. And if you guys could take a chance and take a minute to hit that like button, just one of those likes floating across the screen. You know what I'm saying? You know, make me a proud papa. You know what I'm saying? Let's get just one floating like. Can we get one floating like? Hell yeah. Boom! We have liftoff. We have our floating like. It did not go across the screen. It like fizzled up. So I've been doing it wrong this whole time. Damn me. I've got to get this right. Okay, so we float like this, and it disappears. So no floating across the screen. I was completely wrong on that. Anyway, thank you for that. We love our viewers. We love having a little fun, and anybody who knows me knows that I'm an asshole. So sarcasm and everything that goes along with that. That's what you're always going to get from me. If anything, I am consistent. So with that said, today's show is done. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you. Very small card today, but we're going to try to win as much as we possibly can. Like I said, tomorrow will be our final day for my personal Facebook page. So it will be your last chance to jump on board. I will continue to advertise through my Facebook, but you will now have to find us elsewhere. So guys, you have a great day. Enjoy the NFL draft. It's something I didn't mention. We do have the NFL draft tonight. I might come on during the draft and talk about the draft. Still kind of debating whether or not I want to do that, because I also I'll be watching a lot of games tonight. So, but you might see me come on and talk about a few picks. You know, I'm a Cowboys fan, so maybe we'll talk about that. Who knows? I'm leaning towards coming on tonight and just doing like a draft show. And Andy, feel free to join us later for that and bring other people if you want, guys. We can just have a huge draft show, and you know, I can invite you guys into my live broadcast. So, you know, maybe we could do a live show tonight, and, you know, when your team picks, if you want to come on the show and kind of give us your take on what you think about your pick, we'll welcome that. And, you know, tell everybody, you know, Andy, we'll get as many people as we can in here and try to get as many different teams represented. Maybe we can get Logan in here to represent his horrible Buccaneers. And of course, we can get you in here to represent your shitty Panthers. Who are going to lose game 1 of the season to Dallas. You heard that here. ForTheLoveOfPicks.com making NFL predictions months away from the first game. Cowboys, Panthers, game 1. Cowboys win. They're going to win by a field goal. You heard it here first. Breaking news. Anyway, like I said, guys, we're gonna do that. We're gonna come back for the draft tonight. We'll see if we can get as many people in on that as we possibly can. Pretty sure we can get Logan in just by saying the Buccaneers suck. That should be enough to get him on our show. So with that said, guys, we'll see you all later tonight for that. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Andy says bad pick. We'll see. Never pick with the heart, so you might be right. I might be picking. It might be a bad pick. I might be going too all in on my team. So anyway, with that said, see you guys later on today. See you guys tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow for all your free picks at 4 p.m. Eastern. And of course, guys, what do we always say? Let's make money. Have a good day, YouTube. Let's make money. Did you like it?